normal volume.
All right, we're live.
We're live in the pre-recorded video.
Yeah, we are
Flexing.
live.
Oh, yeah.
The voices of Wrestling Wars, CJ Lang, myself, and one of our most exciting victors at Wrestling Wars 7, Ameer, taking the win over a highly hyped prospect, Issa from the Kurds Warriors. Got the loudest crowd pop.
Yeah.
First time doing a super fight match in front of a bunch of people, I believe.
Yep.
Why don't you analyze that victory for us a little?
Yeah, I've only competed in jiu-jitsu twice, even. So that's my third time ever competing in grappling. I've been training on and off, a few years, multiple gyms too. So it's like my jiu-jitsu journey's been a little all over the place. But, sometimes I feel like that's how it is for a lot of people. So going into it, when I heard who the opponent was, I'm not gonna lie, I was pretty nervous. I was doubting myself a little bit, and everyone was quiet around me. Everyone was just like, all right, But I decided to do it last minute. A little encouragement from this guy, some other guys, Adrian, Jesus, specific I remember too as well. So these three guys, and of course Fabian and Mo pushing me to just take it. You might surprise yourself, And sure enough, I did. I was definitely nervous going in, and I felt like a lot of that disappeared once I got to the building,
It didn't seem like it at all. I mean,
Oh, yeah.
You were both doing kind of like low percentage flashy moves back to back, It's like scissor takedown, berimbolo roll, like back to back. And the crowd loved it.
Exactly.
It was hyped to watch.
Issa's a monster, I had not met him before, but Adrian is really close to a lot of her guys, so I've been aware of her. Obviously knowing Billy and Tico and who all those guys are, and just knowing the reputation, obviously going against Issa was like, all right. And I had been to the 6 Wrestling Wars.
Correct.
And
Sorry, little camera malfunction. Go on.
I think on the sidelines, I made the video for it, the one edit for it. So I had seen Issa performing live, and he was going against his giant guys, taking him down, submitting him. I was like, all right, this guy's crazy. And sure enough, I kind of knew going in. I'm like, I was never a wrestler. I was never an athlete. I jumped into jiu-jitsu. A nerdy kid who played with Legos was all like, that was me growing up, to be honest with you.
We got a lot of nerds in Wrestling Wars, though, so you're not alone.
You're not the best athlete yourself, Tom, but you're an amazing grappler.
Yeah.
So I feel like, athletics.
Yeah.
I suck at a lot of sports.
Yeah, you're like, I can't run fast and jump high, but that doesn't matter too much out there.
Exactly. I kind of knew, in the first, I want to say 20 seconds of the match, we're kind of sizing each other up. I want to see how fast he can move, because I think he's an amateur fighter, a pro fighter.
Yeah, he came out with a big slam on you.
Yeah, he got the single leg. I tried to, bring him over, but it was just a little too late. I'm like, well, I'm about to get Matt Hughes, and sure enough, I got Matt Hughes, and I'm like, all right, the worst thing that could have happened just happened. So as long as I can, keep distance, we have to go over some of the stuff in your class as far as how to defend and get back up. So I had this inside bicep grip over his head. It looked like a headlock, but it wasn't. It was one of the only things helping me just keep him from getting to a passing position. And I had my other hand just pinned to his hip so he couldn't walk around. And as soon as I did the hip switch and started to stand back up, I'm like, okay, now I know I can take that and get back up. Let's see what else can happen. As soon as he got that, he starts waving the crowd on, they're showboaters.
And you did the same.
And I'm like, all right, let's see what happens. Like, the fight's still going. Let's come on, get back here.
How did you feel with pin? You said you're not a wrestler, you're a jiu-jitsu guy, but you won by pin.
I know, that's the most ironic thing. Initially I was a little upset. I was like, man, I wanted to get the submission. But to me, I felt like, as somebody who never wrestled in high school, nothing. The most wrestling that I got is a couple of blended moves into jiu-jitsu. Obviously training here and training under him. I've been in one of your national athlete classes. You go over some of the stuff. I've trained at a couple MMA gyms, like MMA stop. You go over some stuff too as well. We go over some stuff in here, but it was never a dedicated wrestling class. So a lot of pinning positions is utilized for either setting up for punches or submissions, never just to go for the pin. And Issa likes those Kani Basami, I think it's called. He went for it twice. I knew he was going to go for it again. On the second attempt, I kind of let him have it because I'm like, he's I know he wants to highlight it. So he got it, and I'm not gonna lie, it was a close one. As soon as he started going for a toe hold, and I got Gumby legs, so I was like, all right, I can deal with this. I got over and started trying to go like almost just flipping his hips around, trying to like invert and do all this stuff to mess me up. But I do a lot of that stuff, so I'm like, okay, sick. So as soon as he swung his leg over, I just sucked it in, grabbed his head, and I held him there. And I'm looking around. Oscar Goat Alert, who shout out to Goat Alert also.
Caught a great vlog episode of that.
100%. Goat Alert. He's in my corner screaming. He's like, "Let's go! Get the pin! Get the pin!" All these guys are screaming around me like, "Oh shit! Oh shit!" And
get the 1, 2, 3.
Yeah, got the 1, 2, 3, and boom! And
the crowd went nuts.
Crowd went completely nuts. That was honestly, I mean, it's true what everyone says. I mean, I'm not a professional fighter or anything like that by any expectation or any standard, but hearing the crowd pop and getting your hand raised, there's no feeling like it. It doesn't matter if it's a gymnasium. It doesn't matter if it's like the best.
Orgasmic.
It's orgasmic. That's the best way to put it. And it was just awesome because I performing in front of a lot of guys and like from multiple gyms, people that I know here, in all the local areas. It was wild to see how many people actually were happy to see me win. And
awesome.
It was insane. And obviously, for me, I had a close training partner, a friend of mine who passed away. So every time I compete, I get in my head a little bit. Rest in peace, Hector Gonzalez. And that was a real emotional moment for me.
Hell yeah. We got a star in the making. CJ, thoughts going into next Wrestling Wars, or thoughts for our new star? January, next Wrestling Wars.
January 11th.
If you do compete again, it'll be nice to see what you do there. If you might, you might hunt a submission, but if you know you can get the pin, you might hunt for the pin now too.
Yeah,
maybe the submission turns into something in your back pocket instead.
We talk all the time how the pin makes it way more exciting and just adds a dynamic to it. So I know catch is going to catch on, and it's going to get a lot more popular. You're one of the guys that's been in it since the early days, so we will have you again.
Yeah, and I want to add something too, because this is kind of like, kind of close to me. For all the jiu-jitsu guys and all the guys that are like scared of trying it because you're afraid of it, I'm not even the best jiu-jitsu guy by any means. So it's like the worst thing that could have happened to me did happen. I got slammed in front of everyone. You gotta just learn how to deal with it. So for anyone who's afraid of trying it for one reason or another, just try it. I promise you, it's not as bad as you think. And honestly, it's made my grappling and me as martial artist better to have that experience, win or lose. And there's a slight, possible opponent in the midst, good friend of mine.
John Botron.
Mr. John Botron, former teammates, now arch rivals.
That'll be a good matchup.
The two Kurg Slayers, I don't know if you call
Yeah,
them.
let's go. We're going to make that Kurg Slayer matchup.
Yeah,
be on the lookout. And then you can guarantee I'm going to chop up that endorsement for all the jiu-jitsu guys who are too scared to do Wrestling Wars. That'll do it. Out from Lions Den, we're going to play some Smash Bros.
Oh, yeah.